Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game will feature a team that loves getting it done through the air. The Redskins are top 10 in passing TDs, and they'll go against the Vikings, who are very aware of what they'll be dealing with. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are due east from our nation's capital at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Just as we were getting ready for air, both teams coming out of their locker rooms, out of the tunnel, and this crowd is pumped up as their Redskins get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they're hitting their stride of late, winners of... Second down, Cousins. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. And Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Now the Georgia Southern man, this is Jerick McKinnon, and he'll get only a couple up to the 22. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Time running out here on the play clock. Bridgewater off the play fake to McKinnon. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Off the play fake, Bridgewater. Escaping the pressure right. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Throwing is Bridgewater. Open here, Adam Thielen. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On third down, Bridgewater. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Jerick McKinnon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Still second down.
They'll go again with Kelly. That one good for 12 yards. And that's going to bring up a third down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Dejo. And some space here. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Forbath to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now it's Chris Thompson on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back right around the 26.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive back.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Emerson Griffin in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Meanwhile, on the NFL scoreboard, a game going on in Chicago. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Aaron Rodgers, a first-quarter touchdown pass in that one. The drive starts with a handoff to McKinnon. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 1 quarter down. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They're looking at a second and short yardage to start things out. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They just do get the play off. Now Bridgewater. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
He'll find Thielen, work in the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward.
Offense.
That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And some room to work. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To throw, Bridgewater. Screen play, McKinnon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And he'll get this down only to the 18. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster. It all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case.
Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Redskins scoop it. He's at the 50, the 30, the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Washington. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for him.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
After the call, the line on the field is reversed.
The Vikings on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 17. Bridgewater now after the fumble recovery. The swing pass caught. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the first half.
They had that one earlier. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Jerick McKinnon with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Forbath out to kick this one away. On the return, here's a speedy Jamison Crowder. Coming up later tonight, a reminder, one of the games we circled coming into the season, the Patriots at the Broncos. These two certainly have played some memorable games in recent years.
They sure have.
And tomorrow night, we wrap up Week 10 with the Dolphins heading up to visit the Panthers. Out to the left here to Reed. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. I know when you got a top tight end like this, you want to get him involved, but when you do, you're hoping for more than that.
You certainly are. You've got to try and get him some space where he can make a play downfield, or at least an opportunity for some rack yardage, right? That run after catch.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Throwing, Cousins. And Paul has it. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will have the highlights and analysis of this first half from our studios in Orlando.
And I have a feeling those highlights will be pretty one-sided, too.
I think you're right, partner. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 6 there on first. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And this will be a dump off for Kelly. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ikey's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide.
Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. Past the 20, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the 3rd quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
Now Forbath for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Washington. Niles Paul, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure that they have illusions right now of, okay, we're going to score 8 times in a row and we're going to be terrific. But to get one That was huge for them. That has to feel much better right now.
And you do have, we're still in the first half. You do have the entire second half. There's something about that goose egg that just looked bad on that board, but now they've broken it.
Yeah, broken through. Can they maintain the pace? We'll see as we go along.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Okay, Brandon, thanks, and welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get to the highlights. The Redskins are down right now. They have to feel like they're still in it. The Vikings have been the better team, though, and will try to maintain the lead in the second half. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Vikings on 1st and 5. McKinnon's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'd cap off the 10-play drive with a TD. Vikings now on top. 3rd and 7. The pass ends up being picked off. Sendejo's the one who would run it back for the score. That puts them on top by 14. Second and 2 coming up. McKinnon's going to take it up the middle, and he caps off the 2-play drive with a score. The Vikings go up by 21. Late in the second, the hurry throw would be picked off. Newman's going to run it back for the touchdown. That takes the lead up to 28. Still late in the first half. Paul's got nobody around him on the catch, and this 2-play drive goes for a touchdown as they get on the board to cut it to 21-7.
Okay, Larry, a fairly one-sided first half as we get set to go in the second half. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And they give this time to the tailback. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The play clock's running down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's second down.
They always say that real estate is about location. Well, guess what? When it's a slant route, the quick ones, timing, timing, timing. Got to be able to lead your man with the football.
And the timing off right there, threw it behind him. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Jerick McKinnon with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Connection made to Terrell Pryor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 23 yards on the play. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. The Redskins on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Kelly. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. Now McKinnon to start the drive. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Play clock winding down. The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Finding room inside the 40. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. Here it's 3rd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down is.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zach Brown. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Throwing, Bridgewater. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They run with Sankey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Open man is Thielen. It's complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
And showing those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the 1st. On the ground, this is Sankey. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Bishop Sankey, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Forbath to add the extra point. Sometimes a group that gets overlooked, certainly, the offensive line. Right there, they really helped with that score.
Didn't they tell us in our meeting that when we score touchdowns running the ball, that means the offensive line actually scored first by moving people back beyond the end zone? We saw evidence of that on that play.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Shamar Stevens in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
One of the longest punts in the last decade or so, 80-plus yards. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. That's complete. It's Bell. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're going to get the 1st down here across the 15-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets them a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. 2nd down following the run. They'll need to get the play off quickly.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They go play action. Bridgewater. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. 20 yards on both of those plays back-to-back there. They are moving now. It's another 1st down. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And oh, he coughed it up.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring positions. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The play clock's running down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Mike Zimmer got to be unhappy with how that turned out. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Washington. Jamison Crowder, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase it.
The Vikings now heading on to the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, They're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit. Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And Rudolph has it left side. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Bridgewater now. Flush to his right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just checked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. NFL teams last year a little under 50% on 4th down conversions. This is a bit tougher. 4th and 4. From the gun, Bridgewater. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Now Forbath for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. They are in the 4th in Buffalo, and the Bills have wound up winning that football game. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They'll give him a yard on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, Be aware, a ball may come your way.
Cousins from the gun on third. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact. Able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, first down. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Here's Sherrills. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And possession will change here with very little time remaining in this contest. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the L.A. Rams. Meanwhile, for Washington, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in New Orleans against the Saints. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.